morning. You can see camp behind us from last night. Slept okay on the slope. Everything is really wet this morning just because humidity and dew. So, get everything dried off. It's almost 6 o'clock. Hopefully the sun will do some more to help dry it off. So what you're seeing behind me right here is Chanctonbury Ring. Now, I'm not 100% sure on the history. The history of this is, I believe the old ring itself is an old hill fort.
Chanctonbury Ring dates to the late Bronze or early Iron Age. Its purpose is largely unknown, but it could have played a variety of roles, including as a cattle enclosure, religious shrine, or even for defence. It was abandoned after about 500 years, but was later reoccupied by the Romans, who built 2 Romano-British temples in its interior. The ring of beech trees was not planted until the mid-18th century by the landowner who attempted to beautify the site. The ring was largely destroyed in the Great Storm of 1987, but was later replanted. Periodic replanting has allowed archaeologists to do a series of excavations which has revealed much of its history.
So we're about 20 minutes outside of camp. It's just gone 8 o'clock and up on top of the ridge here. We're just before Stenning. It's already hot out in the sun. Beautiful day. Absolutely stunning, but already really, really warm, which I'll take this over the rain any day, but it does mean watching the dogs having to overheat, making sure they don't overheat, and also carrying extra water so that we don't run out. Oh man, look at this view. Look at the channel behind us. Brighton's just down to our right, and we're coming up to Stenning, and actually another turn off for the Monarch's Way, where this intersects yet again. I think it's about the 4th or 5th one that we've come across. But yeah, I wish you could smell this. We've dumped all this manure out here. It stinks. And I'm used to that kind of thing, working on a ranch, fertilizing the fields, but man, that's quite overpowering. So. Just coming up to Stenning. Below us is the Monarch's Way that we left earlier, or split with earlier. Just currently looking out over the outer valley over here. So, what a beautiful view. I know where the pigs are. Now we found the pigs. I think they've got a better view from their home than most of us do. But this one right here looks like he's enjoying himself particularly well in that dirt. So we just got done passing all the, looks like pregnant sows back here. Coming up to the boars here. All fighting over the water food slop that they're eating. But this place is massive, and this is where British pork comes from. Places like this, so not hidden in small crates, in tiny little cages like you would see in maybe in Europe, but out here enjoying themselves, being social like pigs are supposed to be. Yeah, it's not the prettiest thing in the world, but they're free, they get to live a life out here. So I'm pretty sure this It's not an official South Downs Way sign, but we will follow it because I think it's telling us to go the right way. Well, this is really cool to see. It tells us what they are. Duroc, Hampshire, and large white breeds. 100% free range. High health status, so please do not feed them. I really like seeing signs like this. We just got down the River Adder, following the floodplains, and we've actually just joined the Downs link for a very short period of time. We're going to go up over that way, you see up there, and we cross the river over that way. So being that this is part of the Downs link, this is an extremely busy trail, especially with cyclists. Case in point. We have done 60 miles, 7 miles since last night. We have 40 miles to go, 4.5 miles to Devil's Dyke, and not much further beyond that to camp for tonight. We just got our water resupply over in Bolt Holes. Had to cross very busy main road back here. Wasn't sure we'd find a gap. Of course, we had beautiful shade and cloud cover while we were sitting down there, had a snack, and as soon as we need to climb the hill, the sun comes out and it gets warm again. So we're heading 4.5 miles to Devil's Dyke, where we'll stop at top before heading down to the farm this afternoon for camp. Great view over there of Brighton and Hove. You can just about see the Brighton Eye. So moving around through some of these absolutely stunning valleys. Seems like today on this section we are playing chicken with tractors. On this particular stretch, it's like the 4th, 5th one that we've had to get out of the way for. And I tell you, playing chicken with a tractor, it's gonna win every time. So just behind us we got the Devil's Dyke pub where we're going to stop for a break a little bit further, and then just off to the south of the pub is Devil's Dyke itself, which we'll have a look at after we've had a stop. Quite impressive, but for at least for the South Downs being such a large valley, and we'll get into the story about how it was formed. Here we are, Devil's Dyke pub. It looks insanely busy, but oh, my least favorite thing in the world are kissing gates. So finally, we're here. This is Devil's Dyke to our left, and the story basically goes is that the devil wanted to rid the land of churches of God. So he dug this massive dike, this hole in the earth, to bring the sea in to wash away all the churches. Obviously didn't, but that's the basic story that goes behind this massive valley. It's beautiful. It's a great walk down. There's a great pub at the bottom. It's such a neat thing to see on this trail. So we're going to get about a mile to camp, but it's not even 2 o'clock yet, so it's going to be quite a calm afternoon. So we made it to Saddlescombe farm. I think we got here about 15 minutes ago, 2:30, almost 3 o'clock. All pitched up, tents drying out. But man, this is actually a really nice campsite. It's very small, very basic. You just have toilets, access to water, and they only limit it very much to the amount of people that can stay here. So I think it's only 11 people here tonight, or 11 pitches, which is really nice. But yeah, just small field. Not all of it's flat. We managed to get here early enough. I think my pitch is flat enough. There are 2 pitches, one behind me and one opposite me. Probably the flattest spots, but yeah, I think it's worth £10 a night. Dogs welcome. 1 dog only per pitch, unfortunately, which is why I'm glad I'm actually here with somebody else. They're taking the extra dog, as it were. So we're gonna leave the tent here, go check out the cafe, which is open till 4 o'clock, and maybe get a cream tea or a piece of cake or something like that, and we'll come back and cook dinner. So catch you in a bit. So it's crazy. I'm sort of just laying here and waiting for an urgent phone call. But way in the distance, that hill you kind of see way back there. We started on the other side of that. Now that looks a whole lot closer than it actually is, which is nuts. But yeah, it tells you how far we've come today. Come around 2 or 3 different bluffs to get here. But that Chanctonbury ring is very distinctive on that point, which is probably why it was chosen for what it was chosen for. So I'm sitting here in my tent at Saddlescombe farm campsite, which is lovely, don't get me wrong. The road's a little on the busy side, but definitely come to my attention, and you can't not hear it, is a group of people up at the Devil's Dyke parking area who are just got their music cranked, and that's a good half mile away. I can hear it like it was a pub just 2 blocks away, playing around with music, and that's ridiculous. I think we talked to the owner, or one of the managers of the campsite, and they said they were going to call it in, but of course it's one of those things that police don't take. It's not a priority, especially on a Saturday night, and so it looks like we're going to have to suck it up and deal with it, which this is the second time I've had to deal with this in a month, and I sort of, it really ruins camping. It really takes away everything about the reason why I come out here. I come out to get away from this, and it's definitely got me on a slightly emotional level right now. It's the point of utter frustration and being not happy at all. So hopefully we'll have a nice dry campsite tomorrow night, away from everybody else. But at this point in time, it's almost as bad as being stuck in the rain. You're just ready to be done and away from these places. So anyway, we'll see you guys in the morning. Hopefully I get some sleep tonight. Thank God for earplugs.